I already have two podcasts in the hopper. What's one more going to hurt? One of the things one of the many things I wanted to talk about. Let me start with the Oscars first, and then I'll talk about my continuing conversation about my feelings about Black History Month 2019. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. First thing first. I wanted to continue talking about the Oscars. I forgot to mention two other things. So let me clear my throat right quick. All right, my throat, I think, is cleared. As you know, Black Panther took 3 Academy Awards at the Oscars. The guy who played Cottonmouth on the now canceled hit series Luke Cage actually won his second Best Supporting Actor Oscar. I can't even think of the name of the movie. But anyway, the movie about the black guy who was a musician who was chauffeured around by a white guy. That movie. Never seen it. I didn't see the movie that he was nominated for before that he won an Oscar for. Best Supporting Actor. Also, Spike Lee won Best Screenplay Adaptation for Black Klansman. On a side note, this is not the first time they made a film called The Black Klansman. There was a movie called The Black Klansman that came out in the 60s. Very good film. But I'm not sure if this was a different movie from that one or not. Well, actually, they are a little different. But I haven't seen all of Black Klansman. I saw a good portion of it, though. But I'm going to watch it again. I'm actually going to buy it on DVD. Where critics hailed it as Spike Lee's best film. Yeah, they sure did. It is hailed as his best film, which is probably what got him the Oscar win. I'm glad he did win. I'm going to talk about a little bit more about that in a minute. Also, my girl, Regina King, best known for several roles, long-run television series 227, and my all-time favorite black television show of all time, The Boondocks. God, they got to bring that back. And Southland, and she did this 7-part series. It was on Netflix that, for me, said was Oscar worthy for her. It really was. I forgot the name of that too. But Regina King, man, can't act. She always could. Really fine stuff. Anyway, she won Best Supporting Actress for her role If Beale Street Could Talk. I think that's the name of it. But it was long. It was kind of long overdue for her as well. I'm trying to think black director won for Spider-Man, the Spider-Universe. I think it's Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. That's the one where Spider-Man is a teenager. I guess he's a different Spider-Man, where they have several different Spider-Mans, including Peter Parker. But the one in this movie, the main one was he was a black Hispanic young man. Like I said, I didn't see the movie. I actually do plan on getting a copy of it very soon, because I definitely want to see that. Anyway, there was a black director that directed the film who won an Oscar. I think it was the first time an animated feature film. No, actually it's not. I think it's something to do about the first animated feature film that won for best director or something like that. Something along that, or best film. So, anyway, he won. So that was a big deal. I can't wait to see it. Now, here's a couple of things I want to talk about. Let me start with this. Now, actors, comedian, as I getting older, I just forget stuff. The fat chick. But anyway, McCartney. I forgot. Name escapes me. But anyway, her and the guy from what's the name show? Oh, Atlanta. They did a show on the Oscars. They did a skit where they were dressed up like, I guess, like back in either slavery time or something like that. And both of them had on dresses. The guy did too. I was shocked by the guy. He's from down here, matter of fact. Henry something. I forgot his name. But anyway, usually when you're on the road and you ain't got time to really read anything because you're talking. That's probably why I don't remember a lot of stuff. But Melissa McCarthy. That's what I was thinking of the name. Melissa McCarthy. Okay, this came up. But anyway, and they were. Like I said, I didn't see the skit. I saw pictures from the skit, and I was like, "What the hell?" And dude had on the dress. He's the big black guy who plays Paperboy on the hit series Atlanta. Now they're talking about the rumor has it the third season is up in the air already. I was like, really? Season 2 they only did like about a little over half a dozen episodes. But that's another story. But yeah, he was dressed up like a woman at the Oscars. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oscars is getting weird, man. When black people do win on the Oscars, everybody started dressing up all fruity and shit. Seriously. But here's the kicker. And that was the kicker too, though. And I know he did it as a skit, I guess. But still, I'm going to get to that point in a minute after I talk about this other cat who actually wore a dress because he wanted to be in a dress. There was this black actor. I believe he was in... I don't know what movie. I'll be honest. I don't remember him being in Black Panther. He might have been. I probably paid no mind. He might, But anyway, he was a known actor though. I forgot his name. And but anyhow, he wore a black tuxedo at the top. It was a one-piece dress where he had. It looked like he had a tuxedo top on and a bow tie, and the rest of it was all black. It was a black dress. And yes, his husband's white. What a shock. But anyway, and that was weird too. I was like, and I just had to notice it this morning. I was like, what the fuck? Now I thought he was doing one of those things where Kirk Franklin a couple of years ago wore a dress. Because he thought it was fashionable. And I still thought it was gay, but I thought it was fashionable. And that's what I thought he was doing first. And I was like, no, people are getting weird out here. And I'm like, and I'm thinking one thing. This guy purely did that shit for attention. I ain't want to mention the other part he probably didn't do it for, but he definitely wanted attention. You have to be wanting attention, particularly since the Oscars are still predominantly so white. And predominantly still run so white by white people. To do that, that's what you were looking for. That's the first time I ever remember in Oscars history where a black man who actually is not even in drag will come out and wear something like that in all of his gayness. And don't get me wrong, I really don't. And this is from the bottom of my heart. I don't have anything personal against nobody gay. I really don't. Because I've had friends who were gay. Now a lot of friends, and it's not because I didn't want to be around. I just don't have a lot of friends anyway. But the few friends I did have, I'm not. Well, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you like this. There are a few of my friends that were gay, but anyway, and I'll say it like that. But I've never known any of them to do anything like that. Well, one did. One guy I knew named David. He went to Job Corps back in the 80s, and we knew each other since about the second grade. And I kind of knew then if somebody wasn't right. But to me, as a kid, he was, he just liked to play. He was a little different. And I don't mean, I'm talking about, he chased other girls and shit just like I did. But I didn't, pay it too much mind until a little later on. And then he told me a story about, he was only boy in his family, the rest of them were all girls. And it's like, okay. And that's when I figured, yeah, he probably, and then, he ain't had no father. But anyway, we'll get to that on another time, another podcast. Spike Lee. He was just jumping up and down. He was talking about slavery and all that stuff. And okay, but I wish he would talk more about the issues that's going on now, which he didn't do a whole lot of that I can recall. But right now, I kind of feel that we still are inside of an inferiority box. And when I say that, I don't care what your position is and where you work. White people to this day still kind of feel that you're inferior to them. They still feel that way. You could be a supervisor and they still feel that way about you if they work under you. I know somebody very personal that had to deal with that. Okay, they're a supervisor someplace, and yet they have a couple of white employees that challenge them on everything that they do. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. There are white people out here that actually, and many of them do, still feel that white privilege on everything, no matter what. But let me get off of that for a second. I could talk about that all day, and I will on another podcast. Just having to bring that up because the Oscars really is to me, is sort of a dog and pony show. And it's still, to me, Oscars is still so white. And let me tell you why. And that's the other thing I want to talk about. Oscars is still so white because notice the main roles that are by black actors or actresses, they never get the starring role. Regina King should have got that starring role in it because she's the bigger name in the movie. I think she's the biggest name in that movie that I can recall. And the guy who was in Green Light? But anyway, the brother. He's becoming a bigger name. But you always notice that many white actors are in these big roles that don't get nominated for anything, who don't really even have a major starring role in many of these films. When you have a black supporting actor, they always put the black actors in supporting roles. A major black actor are always, 8 out of 10 times, they always put them in supporting roles so that when you're in a good film, like the ones that's been out this year, they never get nominated. They usually try to nominate to the white people for best actors. There's not too many. In fact, there's not too many white actors that get best supporting actor roles anymore. Not to saying that they don't, but there are black actors that are in the supporting actor roles and should have had best actor roles because they should have got the starring roles from the get-go. That's the point I'm trying to make. And somehow or another, they never get nominated for the actor role because a lot of times they're not in it because they don't put them in. But that's why I thought really by right, Regina King should have got best actress. I said it's a movie I haven't seen, but at least one thing I can say, at least it is a world where at least you are recognized, because this is the most I think I've seen black actors and directors been nominated in a long time. Very few times I've seen that many. But the Oscars are still so white. It is. And the Grammys is too. Matter of fact, Grammys is over the years have gotten more white than it used to. Especially off of our music. That's another whole story. I could talk about that all day too. But I'm not. Man, traffic is heavy out here today. Good Lord. I said, when we break. break a lot. But nevertheless, though, I'm still working on my music right now, and I'm trying to work on something today. I'm way behind. It's like I said, this year's been nuts, man. The other thing I want to talk about too is as if you don't already know, and I think I've talked about another podcast. This was the fifth. Yeah, I think it was the fifth. Damn, boy, I don't even remember. Yeah, this is the seventh anniversary. The seventh anniversary of the death of Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin, I think, would have been about 24 years old. Yeah, he was 24. He would have been great. He would have graduated college and everything else by now. Had not been for a 20-something-year-old punk who fucked with him. Yeah. That punk being George Zimmerman. Yeah, I said it. Who since then has gotten away with all kind of stuff. Just like he was doing before, and just like what he was doing before he took the life of Trayvon Martin. No question about that. Cops. I know how y'all cops is. I got a cop right behind me now. And you know what? You know how they do? They like to ride closer to you because they make you think you're going too slow. And then when you start pulling up a little bit, then they want to pull you aside. Because that happened to me. It happened to me about 6-7 years ago. I was, I can get over in a minute anyway. Like if I do this right, what I'm doing now. You know, moving to the right. You know, hey, speed. I had a cop do that one time. I was driving out here in DMV on the Maryland side. And the cop was behind me on the left. I sped up a little bit to get over to the right. He pulled me over to try to give me a ticket. Or give me a warning. And I was like, I know what the fuck you was doing. Your ass was sitting right behind me. Kind of roll up on me a little bit. Pull up on me, ride kind of close. Because I'm thinking I might be driving too slow. Because that's exactly what happened that day. And then, all of a sudden, I know, when I moved up just a little bit fast, I wasn't even going that fast. I wasn't going barely 60 miles an hour in a 55 zone. He pulls me over. That's the kind of shit they do, man. But that's another story, like I said. And I'll tell you, some of y'all youngers who listening or watching me watching my program on YouTube, trust me, when you kind of pull you over, and I know it's hard to have to deal with the shit, but to be honest and to move ahead and move forward, if they ever stop you, pull over. And if you have to comply. Likely you probably would have to comply if they had you pull over, because you know how they are now. And I'm not saying all cops. We know who the guys who do that kind of stuff, and a lot of the cops know who the cops are doing that stuff too. Many of them do. Trust me on that one. They gotta know them because hell, they ain't saying nothing about them. These guys are always there. There are many of them who get to walk. As a result of the cops who do see them doing it or know that they're doing it don't say anything. That's a known fact. Like I said, this is for all here, baby. This is nothing out of turn. I'm saying this is all facts. We all know that. This is all facts. I ain't saying nothing out of not a damn thing out of turn. Not a damn thing out of turn. But that's all I gotta say right now. Other than a couple other things, and because I know it's February, being Black History Month, boy, they did a double whammy. They arrested R. Kelly and Jussie Smollett the same week. Both of them noted singers. Yeah, ain't that something? And it's just things just getting weirder and weirder and weirder out here. And we gotta pray up. I'll tell you this. My whole year started out fucked up. I think I told you guys about it. I can't even talk about it right now. It's so messed up right now. So I'm talking about it's really within my family. So with my immediate family up in Ohio. I've talked about it enough right now. But that started kind of messed up, and that's a whole nother situation. But I won't get into it no time soon. But my pastor actually talked about trying to get along with your families, and he is right. Sometimes you have to, when it comes to your blood family, particularly your blood family, you got to grin period. For the sake of just because you're family. And he's right. Because at the end of the day, family is all you got. And I always say I got 3 families. I got a church family, I got a work family, well, really 4. I got my immediate family with me, and I got my immediate family in Ohio. So I got 4 families that I think about every day. That's not a joke. I do. Love your families, man, regardless of your situation, man. That was one thing I learned on my week up in Ohio, dealing with the situation I had to deal with in Ohio, is that no matter what you had to deal with family, you love them unconditionally, man. You have to. It took me a long time to really, not that I've ever stopped loving any of my family members, but it took me a long time to accept whatever it is that they are or what they're about is who they are. I can't change that. Seriously. I can never change that. You just have to love them for who they are. Sometimes you may have to love them from a distance, but you have to love them for who they are. And I decided I'm not going to fight that mess no more. I ain't going to be like, well, I can't get... No. Now, some people aren't like that. I can't get across that mug. I wish I could. I need to. I ain't going to get my stuff stolen for y'all people. Ain't going to do it. They ain't going to do it. No way, no how. You all go around. I don't care. But you ain't going to take my shit up. But that's how it be sometimes, for real. Sometimes that's the way it is, because, and it's like my old lady, she had to deal with that with her family, and she still loved them unconditionally. But I'm not going to go into details about that, but that's how it be, man. And that's the one thing we got to learn as a people in this community, in our community within this nation. Because our family, our African American community families, is all we got. Seriously. It's all we got. Remember that. Don't let anybody change your thought about that, because it's the truth. It's the absolute gospel. And I wouldn't change that for the world. Not for anybody outside of my family. That's for damn sure. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.